Hey guys, welcome back from the break. We're still here with episode 3 of Warhammer 40K Imperium Maledictum, the Darkholds. Since the break, it has been slightly longer than normal. We're not going to do another series of intros. I am going to thank Omar for his 24-month resub. I do want to note, however, that since the break started, I did launch the... Okay, we have another resub. It's Grimdark James with 71 months. Since the break, I did launch the new Tiltify charity event for Make-A-Wish, Wish Upon a Dream event that we're doing. It is a 4-minute long parody video of 3 Palpatine speeches that have been stitched together. No one has commented on it. I put probably 10 hours of work into it. I honestly think it's one of the finest pieces of parody I've ever done. I play Palpatine, Mace Windu, and Yoda in it. And
It was good. I watched it
oh,
today.
thanks. Someone finally said something about it. We are 66% of the way to the charity goal, which is pretty good because, as I mentioned, we've only had one break since the last episode. It hasn't... We haven't had a full... this isn't a new episode. It's just been the break since last time. So 66% funding in the break. Pretty good. However, no one has submitted any ideas yet. So it's going to be a really stark Monday night where I go over all the ideas people have submitted. Just for the audience's catch up, if you donate at least $5 and you have an idea on how to make my life worse, or if you're extremely generous, better, I will set a dollar value on what the general public needs to fundraise in order to implement that. This is the legislature event. Now, when we come back to this again,
what if you have lots of $5 and lots of ways to make Arthur's life horrible? Asking for a friend. Can you donate multiple times?
you can submit as many ideas as you want, but once that idea has been submitted, I will give it a dollar amount that somebody has to, or the audience has to collectively fundraise to. So you could submit a bunch of ideas, but then you have to convince the general public to all pay to implement those ideas.
It's like the Lego thing where you can submit new Lego designs.
You have to pay them to submit?
No, but you need other people to vote for your design, or else it won't go ahead.
Imagine it was that, except you also had to pay to submit the design as well. I need you to understand that this is an insidious attempt by me to establish a new corporate state.
Yeah. The funny thing with the Lego thing is there's so many times people have voted for it, but Lego won't build it because it's completely inappropriate from Lego. Like the meth lab from Breaking Bad, the Lego set.
It should be noted I hold veto power over ideas, James, so don't get too crazy. Since the last break, let's see, what did happen? You talked to the Keeper of Secrets. You discovered there's some weird stuff going on in his background, but you have convinced him that he should go to all the people here in Fadrex City and convince them that they should obey whatever instructions you have and be prepared to be moved out of the area. As we come back from the break, that's exactly what's happening. He will require mobility assistance to go down and give speeches and begin politicking, but he is going to his family members, which are, according to him, literally everyone, and convincing them that it's time to abandon Fadrex and that whether you believe in the light of dawn or any other societal pressure or cultural or religious around here, strangely, all of them have been built around obedience to the ship. So weird how that happens. What are the 3 of you, plus Luther, plus the Servo Skull, plus the Servitor, plus ostensibly somewhere your good friend Mercutio Borghese stealthing around, want to do?
So I know we've got other problems here. We've got these Ochre people, for example. We could try and swing this that once these people are ready to transition to the outside world, we set up the thing they have to actually fight for their right, and we bring in basic weapons from the outside in the ship and arm them with magic and tell them they are blessed to go and defeat the Ochre people, and we see who survives. That might be a way to sort of try and eliminate two problems with one solution. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it gives us manpower to clean that out without us taking from the ship, without us trying to take from the crew complement.
But everything we know about these Ochre people, we only know through the extremely primitive and uneducated lens of these people. So we're assuming what they are, but they do sound most likely like mutants. And Velamris, I got that look before. Definitely, we need to deal with that foul alien. But I think that we need to avoid creating any more pain than we've already created. So we'll find the opportunity. It's just not going to involve pulling guns on them now.
I think we
We're trying to get these people inside.
When you're saying that, I think we get a look on Velamris's face of like, I swear to the God Emperor, if you tell me to wait one more damn time, I'm just gonna start. He doesn't say any of this, of course, but the look of utter frustration, because all he wants to do is just murder the alien and all of these people that are about to be identified as non-compliant.
Your sniper rifle, is it projectile or is it a las?
It's a projectile.
Oh, even better.
With a silencer.
Because if we're about to start this battle, then who's to say where a shot came from when it hits that Eldar?
I'm assuming you're suggesting that to Velamris in some form of in-character manner. Because Velamris would be like, "Bet I'm already looking for places to hide."
I'm gonna wait. Rassie's not gonna suggest that until we have like the plan for how we're going to like take these people into a battle. So I can try to suggest to you like, "Hey, we could solve a few problems here."
Yeah.
I mean, do we want to try and get outside weapons to bring in? We could try talking through the servitor and ask if we can use the kin hard bottle weapons we got. Call this a trial by fire for these weapons. I know they've already been tested, but they haven't been blooded.
Mm.
I believe they were blue light lasers instead of red light.
Yeah. I mean, there's ochre people that occasionally come through the bazaar, right?
There are ochre people right now in the bazaar. There are two.
Yeah. And they look to be like, they don't look to have any sort of like obvious, like they're not walking around with weapons that the locals don't have, right?
So the locals definitely have a way of identifying these people and in general avoid them. But you don't know what it is that sets them apart from the locals, right? Like they don't appear to be having big weapons or anything like that, but the people around them are clearly uncomfortable by their presence.
Do they look different than the local people? Like physically?
You're gonna need to make a roll to confirm whether that's true or not.
Okay, I'll try to make a roll.
I will as well. I have a talent that helps me with that, I think.
Maybe this is not the first roll of the session, so you don't need to spend a fate point if you don't want to.
Indeed, that's
true.
not the first roll of this session. We are in the second hour of episode 3, because as we know, there are only 4 episodes of the Darkholds.
That's it. Arthur stepped out to get a drink from Boston.
Hey, I went out for milk and cigarettes, but I came back.
So, awareness?
Sure.
Maybe?
I think
Or
so.
intuition people.
Ooh,
I mean,
intuition people.
you're specifically looking for physical differences based on your description, and awareness, I think, would be that. Intuition people, I think, would be.
I'm trying to find a way to be able to be certain myself of the difference between the ochre people and the others.
I think that's probably like a forbidden lore heresy role of some kind. If you're
Yeah,
looking for it.
I don't have that.
Then I
Can
think awareness will.
Okay.
I have awareness sight, but I also have extra vigilance, which gives me a +1 success when looking for hidden enemies.
Okay. Do the two of you want to work together to give Velamris advantage as well?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're both interested in knowing who we're gonna kill here. So
yeah.
That just to be clear, because I know, I mean, even Dimension 20 does this, but especially Critical Role, like, it's not just the fact that you and Rassie are both looking around at the same time. You do need to spend several minutes of, like, spotting together, consulting with each other, and just like hard watching these two ochres to figure out what makes them different than others. But yeah, you'll get a bunch of bonuses and advantage on this, apparently.
All right. Well, I've got my 1 SL in there, and it's set for challenging with advantage. Am I adding anything else to it?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Can't wait for you to 99 this. It's that kind of day.
I do
it's
have
not
my
me, and you're
points.
not Pondo.
Now let's see what happens. Marginal success.
Okay.
I do notice something.
The locals definitely know these people on site. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing specific immediately that makes you think, oh, these people are different in some way. And then you see it very briefly. Velamris, it's because you're watching that Aldari at all times. Your eyes keep sliding over to it. And at some point, you're watching the Aldari, and something like distaste goes over the Aldari's face, and you're like, what is the Aldari looking at? You look at the Aldari's looking at the ochre people, and you see that one of them is at the bazaar and has like leaned over a stand of very suspicious looking vegetables, and as they have, their shirt and their collar comes back a little bit, and you see a little, looks like part of a star tattoo, and you're like, that kind of looks like the 8-pointed star of chaos. That looks like one of the 8 spokes, and you think maybe what really sets these people apart is that while they're here, they keep their clothes on, but when they take their clothes off, these people are covered in heretical tattoos.
Rassie, did you see that?
You did, in fact, see it, Rassie.
And obviously, I'm pointing out all of this as best I can.
But like, as soon as they stand back up, they take a fold of their robe and cover that part of their shirt.
It's like they're self-conscious about the tattoo being visible.
Yeah.
And I'm going to point that out, that not just the tattoo or markings, but the fact how he's responding or trying to protect himself or keep from revealing it.
We heard stories that those who seek a change or some sort of temporary prosperity are taken in by these people. Sounds like there's a chaos cult there corrupting these people.
And I actually say this.
This place isn't for purging.
Yeah, this isn't a Velamris, like, this is something that said. He actually says this out loud. The urge to, oh God, what's the word?
The urge to purge.
The urge to purge intensifies. And he says this kind of quietly so that only Rassie can hear him. But there's a lot of hate and malice when he says it.
I put a hand on your shoulder. I understand hate. We are going to raise an army, and we are going to burn what we hate.
Don't toy with my emotions.
Oh, it's going to happen. Not right now, but it is going to happen.
Right, I guess we are waiting for...
If we've been doing this, then you or Luther are probably the ones helping with...
Oh yeah, I feel like Luther's definitely...
around.
If the sister needs her hands free, Luther should be the one assisting mobility.
Okay.
I don't need my hands free, but he can still be assistant.
I don't need my hands, but he can still do it.
Actually, what Luther does is he goes, Servitor, help us mobility assist this man. And the servitor just shoulders
Scoops him
out.
up.
Yeah.
I need my hands free for steepling.
Yeah. So Luther has entered into middle management now, managing the servitor's progress and directing it to go to various places, because the servitor doesn't answer to the keeper of secret, the Japester.
I mean, he's not really a manager; he's an operator. It's a piece of machinery. He doesn't need to motivate it or inspire it or
what level of pride he has in his mind may not be the same level of pride you have for him.
Yeah.
So since the servitor's the one moving the keeper of secrets around, I think that means, I mean, what is the sister up to?
So I think that because I want to start seeding thought into the people here, but I know that the Japester is the one that's actually talking to people initially. So, and I don't think I can walk among the people seeding things like I did in the past because I stand out. But once I get a chance to talk to the people, once the Japester sort of like started the initial conversation, I do want to jump in and say a few things to the people in general.
I think that this can be a roll with a -20 on difficulty to represent. I don't think maybe that like it's harder than normal for you. I think it's that you are hesitant and more careful than normal as to how you're speaking. You know what I mean? You have to use specific paths of speech.
Yeah. I think that the thought, the inception I'm trying to plant is that the reason it's taken so long for these people to be invited into the world at large is because of the things like the Ochre people and the cults and the other factions down here have always given us pause to come in and bring up these faithful few. But now we need the ship needs them. That they are required by the ship now. But because those other groups still exist, this process could take a while. It could be several of their years before they are fully able to join. If only there was some way to speed that process up somewhat. I guess that's the sort of the gist of it.
The steepling continues.
I just see the way James is talking. I'm imagining Beauty and the Beast, Gaston riling up the townsfolk, handing out weapons. If only there was some way to solve my problem. Get rid of the beast. If only I had some big, strong lads who had something like this broken chair as a weapon. All right, go ahead.
I feel like
-20.
Okay,
I feel like as far as arming these people, that's kind of what we're doing, because otherwise we'd have to leave this area, go out back into the main parts of the ship, and then come back with armloads of guns or whatever.
Yeah, I really don't want to. I think it'll reflect badly on us if we can't make do with what's at hand.
Exactly.
First off, will you take leadership for this?
Yeah.
Okay. And let me just double check to see.
I got it now. No, I have the wrong animated movie song. I should have been going with Savages from Pocahontas. That is an incredible song. It has matured well over the years.
Yeah, I've already tried to Air of Authority this group, and I failed not last session, but the session before I failed to Air of Authority the people in general. So I think I'm just going to roll leadership -20, and I will spend a fate point for advantage.
Okay. Good thing this isn't the first roll of the session.
Yeah, well, I already did it the first roll of the session, so
yeah,
that's true.
I agree.
Now I do get +1 SL because of my very nice clothing.
Okay.
Yes. Nice.
Is that like your Benny Gesserit weirding way here?
She got that drip. Is that what the kids call it?
Yeah, with a +2 successes, what happens is you go walk out into the market. All of a sudden, the screen takes on a yellow tint, and we hear someone praying with an Adahan, and there's like a weird fluted woodwind instrument playing. as you begin moving among the people and whispering in their ear, witchy style, where you're just like, wouldn't this be so much easier if someone solved this problem for us? And then you like turn to somebody else and you point at the ochre people and go, they're really holding this whole process up, don't you think?
Yeah.
And people nearby are like, yeah, they are holding this process up. Yeah,
I'm like,
they are. We should get rid of them.
Holly's like the Scarlet Witch circa Age of Ultron,
Yeah,
like, you know,
yeah.
where, like, you in there, back in their ear. You know?
I like the idea that like in the background of the scene, while that person's like, yeah, they're the problem, and just Rassie puts an arm over Velamris' shoulders and says, I told you this will happen.
Okay, so I'm going to tell you guys that if you do nothing, the people of Fadrek City are going to rally and butcher these two ochre people. Like, it's happening. Unless you do something, the avalanche is already in motion. Not like everyone has been converted all at once, but you have that critical mass of like enough of the population are now riled up, and their neighbors are just like, I don't know, kind of seems like everybo's involved in this thing. I should get involved too. I don't want to seem weird.
It's a good old-fashioned lynching.
Yeah, it is a good old-fashioned lynching.
Yeah. And I think that unless one of you two wants to stop it, I'll let it happen, because then the next thing after that is to say, oh no, you know, now that these two are dead, you know, it's going to cause problems with the rest. You know, are we ready to finish what we've started?
I was trying to figure out how to segue from this from these two to the rest of them.
What I want to do is I want to wait as the crowd moves over and the lynching begins, and you know, like Sister Holly is standing like just outside the crowd watching, just, you know, doing the rolling steeple, and Rassie will walk up next to Sister Holly and say, we took a close look at those ochre people. They're chaos cultists. They're servants of the archenemy.
I mean, as you're saying that, people have like the ochre people are fleeing towards the exit that you came in, and somebody like grabs them and rips their shirt off, and you can see that they're covered in Slaneshi tattoos, and like the 8-pointed star of chaos, and people are like, traitors, heretics, they harm us by being here. People are like pulling out ropes and dragging them through the square towards the Veritas Maximal. And they're just like wielding broken pieces of pipe and random bits of detritus from around the ship. People are lighting stuff on fire, and they're just like, kill them! These guys are basically dead, and if with a +2 successes, if you want them to leave here and scour the ship as best they can through the Darkholds, killing everything in their wake, I don't see any reason why they would.
Do you
stop.
two want to lead them? I think it would benefit us to be a part of that, not just say go forth, you know, and slay.
Yeah,
like
we need to have some sort of presence, at the least, control of some form.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea, and I think this will be really nice for you there, Sniper Boy. I need you to quickly get on top of that structure there and lay down.
Oh, he's already gone. He's already moving. As soon as you pointed it out, he's already moving. Because now he's like, now I'm going to kill that blue screen freak.
You're going to snipe the Eldar?
I mean, that's unless somebody tells it. I mean, we have micro beads or com beads or whatever the hell they're called. So like, unless somebody tells him not to shoot him right now, that's exactly what Velamris is going to go do.
So my plan is like when they're like hoisting the bodies or whatever of the two ochre people, I want to use the flamer to burn the bodies because I don't want people staring at those symbols too much.
Okay.
And while everyone's focused on that, for him to take the shot, and I want to try to roll a leadership to, you know, convince them that the counterattack has begun and to lead them into the Darkholds to purge the rest of the cultists.
Nice. Yeah.
I don't think
Add some fervor.
I don't think you need to roll for that. Listen, this thing is going wildly out of control with or without your help.
I want to try to use the leadership so that we can like
they might be a sledgehammer, but we need to tell them where to hit and not just hit everything.
Well, no. I mean, we definitely want them to just like run around down here and murder everything. But I want to be able to like rally them afterwards, so we can, you know, try to use these people after they've finished this purge, because we need them to cooperate so we can check for chaos influence afterwards.
Okay. Again, I don't think this requires a roll. I'm fully willing to let James's previous success ride on this. This is literally the thing that his character is built to do.
All right.
Well,
that take the shot.
That and doing some honeymooning shots.
But the one thing I can't do is I can't put the genie back in the bottle, unfortunately.
All right, Rassie, you begin burning these two men who are tied up and screaming, talking about how, like you've always hated us, but we've always been a part of you, and you're a part of the plan. You're a part of the plan. You didn't even know the ground you walk on has been tainted. Everything around you is alive.
Your plan is to destroy everything. Burn, heretics!
It's a lot of talk for people with no oxygen in their lungs. Flying birds all the way.
You want to take your shot? See if you can take out this Eldar?
Yep. With my Deadeye, I get, and because I have it taken twice, I get advantage when I aim and a +1 SL.
You do have a -20 because this guy is freakishly fast, and he has a Camellia line cloak.
So do I.
I do.
Your ability to shoot people is not affected by your Camellia line.
No, it doesn't.
Well, you don't have to compete with this guy.
Part of me really, really hopes that AP put this Eldar into this room for us to talk to.
Just for some revenge.
He has the name.
Did it not go through?
I haven't seen a roll yet.
Okay, let me see what I
don't see it either.
All right. Advantage, +1, -20. Roll. There we go. Oh, wow.
Well, you had an 80, but it became an 8. So I went from having a pretty easy roll to avoid this to a very difficult one, and I don't. So
you're not even close.
Not even close. I needed a 70. So for a +5, I would have needed to hit a 20 in order to dodge this.
The bullet.
Yeah, he's fucking destroyed by this hit. Are there rules for like sniper rifles just deal instant death in this one if you're not?
No, but if you take the long aim action, you can pick a body location. So he could have like shot him in the least.
Just shot him in the head.
Yeah. I was definitely going for a kill shot.
The Eldar, it's like he can hear something around him, and he turns to look directly at you through the scope right as you're firing, and he just looks sad as you shoot him directly in the head, and then his head jerks back and he falls.
If anything, I'm smiling far too happily right now.
When that happens, someone screams nearby, and they're like, "They're attacking the Ochre people! The attack has begun!" And then people begin pouring out of the 3 exits of Fadrek City, and they're just like, "They have broken the treaty! They have brought weapons among our people! We must arm ourselves! Where is the knight? Where is the high mage? Where is the rat creature? We must go! Kill the Ochre people!" And then everyone's like, "Kill the Ochre people! Kill the Ochre people!"
Rassie will just join in chanting, "Kill the Ochre people."
Yeah, I was just thinking the same thing as Velamris starts breaking his...
Raise the chainsword and start revving it as we storm out.
So just to be clear, there are rat mutants that live among this community that are accepted as fully human, but you meet other type of weird mutant people in the tunnels while you're in there, and they're like, "They're not among us! Ah, kill, kill, kill!" And the rat people are like, "We're human too!"
I think Velamris, after he takes that shot, he starts breaking his sniper rifle back down again, and he hears this chat, and he joins in, and by the time Rassie's got his chainsword revving and everything, he's right there with him. Both his auto pistols or whatever guns I have. He's like, "Yeah, kill them all! Kill them all!"
As we're leading the mob out of the area, can I go to render life-saving first aid to the dropped Eldar and actually just like rifle his pockets, examine him for any other information that
he's super dead. I mean, there's no life-saving you can give to.
I mean, I'm like, "Oh, help! I'm going to life-saving. So I'm going to go and help. It's like, but I'm actually just using it as an excuse to like examine him closely. I do have Forbidden Law Xenos now as well.
Okay. I mean, it's not going to surprise you that this guy has the Aldari soul gemmy thingy wraithbone construct.
I still don't think I know what that is, to be honest. It's a glowing gem with me. I'd say that much. Yeah.
He's got one of that. He's got some Wraithbone constructs on him. He seems to have some sort of like Aldari technology audio log thing on him, almost like a sort of audio diary system. And
no, he doesn't.
He's got what passes for money around here, which is totally worthless to you. It's like some like weird bits and bobs.
Ball caps. I bet the last audio recording is, oh shit, he's shooting at me.
Yeah, no. If I can, I will try to pilfer whatever that device is. That like is some sort of log to look at later, or to give to someone else to look at later.
I mean, just basic browsing. You don't speak Aldari, do you?
No, I don't know.
It looks like there's thousands of audio logs in here.
Yeah, but I mean, like, it's not to me to like someone else more educated can find out more about it. So,
all right.
Well, I was thinking of taking linguist as a talent at some point. It's on my list of things to buy.
Velamris, Rassie, it's difficult to remain divorced from the rage of the crowd. At some point, you go less from directing it to just being a part of it. And so it's no surprise that when you come back to consciousness, it's about 12 hours later, you're both covered in gun smoke and blood, and you've killed, personally, probably 2 or 3 people apiece, but the groups that you're leading, your squads, have probably killed like 12, 14 mutants apiece. Just weird, freakish things that live in the Darkholds and take up resources. A confused, dehydrated, emotionally drained people slowly make their way through the long dark of these corridors back towards the warmth of Fadrek City, where you could see that some of them look smug, many look tired, some look ashamed of what they've done, but all of them are returning to this place once more. A few people have been lost. Strangely, it looks like the administrator, Cask Tubman, was lost at some point.
Oh no. No need to get a Shea Lounge now.
I think if we're coming back, I'll definitely comm beat to the sister.
I would have come with the group. I just would have been back. Yeah, just.
I just comm beat anyways, just sort of like a. I think this is what we're going to find for now. These people are primed and ready for a new cause.
Yes, this would not be a bad time to maybe give them some sort of "you did good" speech. This was for the good of the Imperium, etc., etc. You know the words. I need a nap.
I mean, we're not done here, but you can take a break. Yeah, but we still.
In that case, I need a recap. You're muted, Icky.
I like the idea that you say you need a recap, and as we're like meeting back up in Fadrix, I pull out like a Capri Sun type liquid pouch, and it's just labeled like recap.
I was actually thinking something like that.
I do like a corpse starch bar as well. Like, there you go. This will keep you going.
You don't have those like little sort of containers that you like twist something and they suddenly heat up. Heat the coffee inside.
Oh man, that's way too Japanese for us. We don't get to do cool shit like that.
You get your amazing cold recaf in a pouch.
It's powdered. You add cold water to it.
I think the video, where they made the instant hot dog cooker that uses thermite to cook hot dogs. Yeah.
Yes, it's incredibly dangerous.
Definitely sounds military based.
They fucking scorched the hot dog, so yeah.
So I guess the next step is to go back to the door and tell people that we're ready to bring these people out of here, and they can be.
You do specifically have a servitor with a communications suite.
We don't want to take them out of here right away, though. No, they need to be screened for the influence of the archenemy.
All right. Well, let's see if we can reach out to the cult mechanicum via the servitor.
Okay.
Has he got like a rotary dialer on his back?
The timing on that comment and his hand motions was impeccable. It's like you guys had rehearsed that.
I've got to hold like the one to the ear, and one to the mouth, like the two.
Yeah, there you
go.
This is Oseb Tanzov.
We have located a large number of living humans. We've destroyed the mutants and cultists down here. We found a small settlement alongside. I'll give them like the tertiary landing bay that this is supposedly attached to. They are pacified and are willing to rejoin the ship if roles can be found for them. If they can't, I'm sure there's sufficient airlock space to jettison them.
We have a shortage of servitors. Their service to the Omnissiah and induction into the cult Mechanicus is no problem.
Well, it's good because they seem to revere the Omnissiah above all else. At least in a representation of this ship. So, I guess the next step is to bring. They're compliant and ready to go and disarmed. Other than
well, hold on.
Primitive weapons.
Are they disarmed?
Well, they've got primitive weapons. They don't have guns.
I mean, okay.
Yeah, but they're also compliant.
We could definitely disarm them on the way out.
Yeah, we should probably bring a tech priest in first, just in case they take umbrage at the side of a tech priest to cue before an army of Skitari.
You don't think a writhing mass of mechanical tentacles and glowing red eyes might be upsetting?
He sullied the sacred machine by implanting it in his body.
Ooh, yeah. Wow. That's a storyline for later. Let me hold on to that one.
I mean, if we're worried about their reaction and we want to make sure there is no problem, we can take them out in groups of 10 and just give them to the Mechanicus. Groups of 10 aren't going to be able to do anything if they decide that they're suddenly spooked.
That's true, but I think the problem with that does work, but settlements where you take out people groups at a time, some of them will start to worry that they are being lied to and exterminated. We would need occasionally for one of the ones we've already taken out to come back and be part of the group to take more out, so they get reassured that there is, life beyond the doorway, beyond
the Mechanicus plan that Oseb lines out for you is to bring small groups out through that doorway at a regular pace, and then they will be captured. Their individual collectiveness will be added to the cult Mechanicus in their place, whether it be servitor or low-ranking, scullery maid, will be determined from that point.
Their cranial and biological distinctiveness will be added to the ship.
Yes. So while we're doing the cinematic of everyone being gathered, they're picking up all of their stuff. They're moving their entire lives out of Fadrex to go with you on a multi-hour journey, again, into the darkness to places they've never been before, to the door. I just want to list some of the old-timey words that were supposed to be used in the settlement, but I never got time. Crapulous, Overmorrow, Lusk, Couth, and Prithee.
I do want to, during this time, I do want to kind of go back through the spaces that we rampaged in and burn anything that looks remotely chaosy.
All right, cool. We'll do it Stargate Atlantis style, where we just have a really mid-2000s emo song playing as you in slow motion just set everything on fire in a series of montages.
We just have a series of long corridor shots where a flame just rolls down the corridor from the distance into the foreground. I think like an explosion on a ship.
The echo of Rassie's very light footsteps.
Velamris will go along, even if it's just to be an extra gun if we need to shoot something that we missed or whatever.
I'm going to just go destroy the things that belong to the cult. I think it'd be better if you made sure that things stayed compliant with the people that are joining the Mechanicus. We've got comm beads. If I run into a problem, I'll hit you up on the comm bead.
I want to know how people down here became crapulent, Arthur. Crapulence crapulence is normally a state of like being sick because you ate or drank too much.
Yeah. It was a word I was going to use. You, even as far back as the puzzle, I was using old-timey words, right?
Yes,
and
the
I
letter.
have a bunch of old-timey words that people were supposed to say here. I didn't know specifically how I would use them, which may be why I never got around to using crapulous. Not all words are equally deployable.
But yeah, I definitely want to make sure that, you know, I go back and destroy everything so we don't end up having another cult accidentally start up once
Now you have
the tech
literally
priests
described
retake
yourself
this area
as going alone into an unknown part of the ship. You've specifically refused backup.
Yeah, that's why Velamris was like, let me go with you. Also, Velamris would have been like, yeah, let's go destroy chaos shit just to get rid of it.
I just want you to roll a D100 real quick, Rassie. That's all I'd like.
The Warhammer monster chart. You count of D4 kobolds.
Okay.
4 kobolds.
Hey, Rassie's just worried because Velamris is overly curious. He's just trying to look out for Velamris.
That's fair. Velamris would have gone in with the intent of burning everything, or
there's no doubt in Rassie's mind of your intentions. Just also knows that you're a dangerously curious person, and I'm trying to be a bro here.
You all reconvene at the door. There is a long corridor of people who have been lined up. At some point, you're looking around, and you notice that Mercutio Portuguese is just like standing among the group of you in full armor.
I've come back from my purging.
Yes.
Oh, good. I didn't get murdered.
No kobolds found you this time.
No kobolds found me.
He didn't say that. To be clear,
I didn't. I didn't get any private messages saying that I'm dead and no longer myself. So.
If you did, though, would you lie about that right now?
Yeah,
100%.
That seems like
100%.
It seems very conspicuous that you denied it, without being questioned. He thinks he doth protest too much. All
right. I mean, we did do. I mean, that group did their purge. I went back through to try to destroy anything that might be a danger to the crew. I don't know how they got there, but it is the Darkholds.
Well, not anymore, technically, because we've just cleared it. Now it can become part of the ship.
As resources are diverted here, another area dwindles into darkness.
Yeah.
Although I would definitely like a scene where, like, the last people to be moved out of Fradrak City are still, like, in the city, like, waiting to join the line, and there's already people coming through, like, tearing down the wall between
Tertiary Cargo Bay 7.
Like trampling over their memories as such as they just start to like methodically, reintegrate this into basically just a cargo bay, like knock down buildings, like
turn it back into
smash the behind the Veritas Maximal comes down and crushes the Veritas Maximal flat.
Yeah, nice.
As it gets turned into the lifter hangar that it was always meant to be.
It should be noted that there were some plot holes here, and I do want to make sure to explain them and close them real quick, because you didn't spend a lot of time talking to people, is the thing, and I don't want to comment in like 3 years where someone's like, isn't it weird that guy claimed to be hundreds of years old, and yet the incident that brought him here was maybe 200 years ago.
Well, I mean, I obviously believe that their time was not the same, and that's why I was looking for a date on the photograph to try and work out what the relationship of their time to our time was.
What you get is like someone clapping somebody else on the back and going, that was a hard day's work there, and someone goes, that's right, we should take a day for ourselves and then a day to rest. And you're slowly getting the idea that at some point in their culture 8 hours became known as a day's work, and people just assume that's how long a day was. because they've literally never seen the sun or had a calendar before.
I was hoping something like, we walk them to the door and they're like, oh, yes, we tell tales of this 3-year journey from Fadrak City to the door.
No, it's just that a day for them is 8 hours rather than 24.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes, this 3-year journey that for us, and you guys are like, it's been 6 hours. How long do you think a year is?
And we did tell the Mechanicus that we completed killing the mutants and the cultists, so they know to. Yeah, so they are aware that. Yeah,
they're going to be waiting on the other side of this door to bring people out. And
they can get in there to work on the heat sink and whatever that they needed to do.
As you all exit the door, the corridor that you entered into is a low line of like dark cloying mist. It's like inky. And you see a sudden like light, like a blinding light through the mist coming towards you down the corridor. And you hear an ominous bonging noise as you see a dark figure begin to head towards you.
Does a corridor have... This is the corridor we're coming out as the same one these people are coming out to be assimilated, right?
So this is the same. You are exiting the Fadrak City environments and re-entering the door that you had to solve the puzzle at to get through. So you're back in the regular ship.
And this figure's coming from one of the corridors in the regular ship, or coming from one of the
corridor?
Okay, no worries.
And
Mercutio is here right now, yeah?
Mercutio is with you, silent, yes.
Okay, no worries, all right. Well, I know no fear then.
Okay. Yeah, I was just thinking, like, well, shit, if he's here, then this can't be bad.
You hear otherwise he'd be shooting. The sound of a bonging gong, like, boom, and it fills all of you with, like, a deep reverberation. And that's when you hear 12 voices begin singing about...
Oh, God, it's our following choir.
Hell yeah.
God rest ye merry martyrdom, may no one let dismay. Remember Sanguinius, our savior. And you realize that today is Merry Sanguinius Day. It's a Sanguinalia festival. And you hear crackling over the ship's speakers. By order of the Lord Commander of the Imperium, Robute Guliman, Primarch of the Ultramarines, leader of the 13th Legion, and master of the Logos Historica Verity. This day, based on our chronometrical readings, since the time of the Cicatrix Maledictum, shall be declared a day of holiday. Enjoy 25 hours of standard Terran rest. Know that the Sanguinalia Festival has begun. Attention, all crewmates. If you see Sister Holly pass throughout the ship, that the oh god, what is it called? Not chapter preceptor. What's the leader of a sister's order called?
Well, Chaderius or Paladin?
Canonist preceptor.
Yep.
Sister Holly is wanted in the Canonist Preceptor's office. Pass throughout the ship. And like as that message fades, the 12 pure singers continue their God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, but rethemed for Warhammer 40K Sanguinalia Festival. The song encourages you to martyr yourself like the greatest martyr in history, Sanguinius, the demigod angel.
Two things. Are you going to link to the Hymns of the Imperium YouTube channel so people can hear the recently released song that you're talking about? I'm assuming you've watched this video that came out this week on YouTube.
No.
Is this there was a video released moment?
Yeah.
No, I've been listening to Pentatonics' cover of God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, and I noticed that the Sanguinalia Festival is the only confirmed holiday in Warhammer 40k.
Okay, so three days ago, the channel Hymns of the Imperium released a song called Rejoice Ye Sisters, which is a Sanguinalia song based on God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen.
James, you're gonna need to drop a link for us.
Yeah, I will. So, and the second thing was, because you sort of described what was coming out of the darkness, it sounded like one object. When you first said it was our 12 singers, I had this sort of impression of like the 12 merged into like one Frankenstein-esque chanting creature.
My bad. No. No, it's just that the one in the front was carrying the light and the gong, so yeah. They're carrying an actual just hooded lantern. Oh, Hymns of the Imperium. I have to tell you, just based on the thumbnails here, this definitely 100% looks like an AI generated thumbnail.
It's not. It's if you read the thing, the person wrote the song themselves and did the art themselves. It's not AI. They do a bunch of
I haven't
stuff.
gotten to the song yet. Rejoice ye merry sisters, merry sanguinalia. Oh, I've seen something on this channel before. I've apparently listened to the song Litany of Hate.
That checks out. I remember you throwing that at us at some point.
Yeah, I do like hating things, so...
Well, hate is the strongest weapon that the Emperor gave us. Or strongest gift, something like that.
All right, so it turns out a lot of people like sanguinalia, guys. This is canon.
Is sanguinalia? I know Sanguinius is the Primarch for the Blood Angels.
Yeah, so
there's
a lot of holidays that are mentioned in Warhammer 40k lore, but they appear to all be like planetary celebrations.
Like local ones, yeah.
The only federally represented holiday Imperium-wide appears to be Sanguinalia.
Is that the 40k analog to Christmas or something along those lines?
It actually isn't. It's just that people pretend that it is.
Okay.
It's almost nothing is known about it. You know what I mean? Like they're just like, there's a holiday. It's called Sanguinalia. Period. End of story. And the community was like, it's clearly the Saturnial the Saturnial festival. It's Christmas.
Yeah, it's like Life Day in Star Wars. It's like the direct analog. So yeah,
every time I hear Life Day, I just cringe a little.
Check out Hymns of the Imperium. Although it's no Imperium Girls. It was done to
Imperium Girls is awful. It's a fucking butchery of the song. Please no, James. No, absolutely not. No. The fucking Imperial Guardsmen twerking? No, I'm done.
Oh my god.
What a butchering of an actually kind of good song by a kind of mid-artist.
There's also all the great songs where someone's taken all the Space Marine standard sounds from Dawn of War and trained an AI on that voice, and they have that yelling Space Marine voice sing songs like
Steel Rain activated.
No, I Need a Hero.
All right. So meanwhile, back on the ship. Your personal Space Marine, Mercutio Borghese, turns towards you as the singers begin creepily surrounding Velamris and singing to him. They formed an inner circle of 5 and an outer circle of 7 to surround him and remind him that one day he should become a martyr the same way that Sanguinius has. Mercutio Borghese turns to look at all of you, but because you're looking at him, he's looking into the camera and he goes, "We'll be right back after this break." All right, James, I know you say that this... I mean, I'm going to give partial credit here, for sure. They definitely spent a lot more time preparing these lyrics than me going... Pentatonic! Sanguinius! I am also completely convinced that this is AI art for sure. The way that the background does not connect correctly.
Yeah, I think that it's a combination of AI and actual. They probably like, for example, you're not going to get AI to generate things like the symbols of the Blood Angels and the Black Templars. Even then, like using something like Suno to do the music, you're not going to get. It won't do it to the tune of God Yes You Merry Gentlemen, so there's definitely a part where the word skip that makes me think that they've used AI to do at least do the singing voice. I think it's a combination of AI art enhanced with going over the top with Photoshop or something.
James has just determined intelligent design in artificial intelligence. There's a guiding hand to it. There must be a purpose. Yeah, they got me beat though, for sure. Their Sanguinalia celebration's better than mine, so you got me there. You got me there. It's just I need Sanguinalia so I can do something cool later this episode.
Well, how many hits do they? How many views do they have on that?
32,000.
Okay, so we get more views than that.
Well, I have 1.25 million views total.
Okay. They've only got 2,500 subscribers, so.
Okay. Well, that's almost as many as me. I got like 3.5.
Yeah, look them up on Social Blade. See who's more important.
Okay, James, I'm not going to do a dick measuring contest with a AI artist. I got to be honest with you. The message at the bottom that says I own and created all of my own art is probably the thing that most convinced me they definitely did not create their own art and music.
Maybe the AI wrote that.
What I see here is a jealous prompt engineer who has somehow locked in an audience. And don't get me wrong, the final product is fine, I guess. It's definitely Warhammer 40K themed for sure, but I absolutely look at it and I'm like, this is AI, 100%. Thumbnail.
A friend of mine,
yes.
One of my D&D players, she got the shits about the fact that AI audio or songs are now appearing on Spotify, so she decided to bet if you can't beat them, join them. So she's just started generating every week just like random lyrics, random song, put it on Spotify under her own name, and see how many followers she gets.
I definitely feel like there have been several pop artists over the years that have done that, including famously that Italian guy who had a song about nothing, and it was incredibly popular. Or that one Saudi gentleman who was like, everyone always says that the only reason people watch my music videos are because I have hot women in it. So he just made a music video with only him. He played all of the characters, and it was his #1 best-selling music video of all time. Oh, I'm getting a deep internet lore here, ladies and gentlemen. You all are surrounded by singing sisters. At some point, you get a procession of an engine seer and other tech priests who begin doing what they call processing. They are gathering the groups that come through, and roughly about a third of people are being sent to advanced processing, which you're pretty sure is keyword for being turned into a servitor. And the other 2/3 are being reserved for contributions to the Holy Mechanicus, and they are being basically, some of them may eventually become low-ranking tech priests sort of deal, but most of them are probably just going to be servants. Yeah, but you see Oseb nearby, Oseb Tanzarv, and he's just like, excellent work, Sister Holly. It is a good time to become bolstered in our ranks. We are surrounded by over 2,000 sisters at all times. Your contributions in order to counteract their arrogance have been noted. The Omnisaya bless you on this holiday of Sanguinalia, when the great angel Sanguinius shed his blood on behalf of the Omnisaya. Praise be.
Thank you. I need to go. I have to go and see a Chaderius about a thing.
Of course, a man about a horse.
Did Mercutio want to speak to us, or that was just the throw to the break?
Yeah, that was just the throw to the break. Mercutio is, he's your supervisor, and he's going to judge you all for what you've done here, but he doesn't have anything specific to say unless you want to talk to him.
I mean, this was a task for us to do on board, but we also have the rest of the trip to be productive.
Yep. Rassie, you are supposed to be training the Flame Wardens into the new murder jetpack squad. Velamris, I think you kind of actually don't have that much to do.
No, I think Velamris
is kind of open, surprisingly.
I mean, I could definitely help out with training up the Flame Wardens.
Oh, you want to help in the training of the Flame Wardens, do you?
So just to be clear,
I have an idea for that.
The Flame Wardens,
like it.
The Flame Wardens are 1,000 untrained, deranged flamethrower wielding cultists who are currently being trained by 3 corporals. Now, I'm sure we have several serving military members here, or former military members. I don't know that you would ever allow 3 corporals alone with 1,000 privates and cadets. You know what I mean?
Can we not say deranged? Can we say motivated instead, please?
Okay.
Highly motivated.
That's certainly a way to frame that.
Okay.
No, I think Velamris can help out to some degree. I'm sure Rassie will have all sorts of wonderfully not so denigrating things for him to do to, by being the OP4 or some craziness like that.
OP4? My man, you're issuing these people weapons to start with?
So
listen, all I need is a suit made out of 100% of asbestos, and I'll be fine.
So
I know that's not how that works. I know, but I just want to make that joke.
Without anything else happening for the rest of the trip, Rassie plans to eat, sleep, and live Darkwind drop troopers.
Understood. The 2008 theme of the United States Army Strong begins playing at some point as you and 1,000 troopers are running behind you, and we hear the sound of the big timpani drum set with a big mallet going over it, and then the sound of a sunrise as all of you carrying your packs through the corridors, passing all of the sisters.
So I think some of the important
someone
things
shouts 3 miles up, 3 miles back.
So some of the important
okay.
some of the important things that Rassie wants to get up to is installing a hierarchy.
Yeah.
For control and training.
I'm sure.
So that'll be a major thing.
Let's lock in that role. Yes,
okay,
and it's
sure.
absolutely a leadership role. And it's absolutely a -20 because you're way understaffed.
Well, I guess I'll spend a fate.
You have 5 people running a whatever they call it, running cadre on 1,000 people.
Can I help him on this since I brought them in? Because I am trained leadership, which means I can both give him advantage and +1 SL as well.
Yes, I will allow it, even though you're going to do something now, because this takes place over the course of weeks.
Yeah, I figured this was a longer scene.
Oh, yeah. Chad is also talking about cadres. The first time I heard about cadres was in a Battletech novel, and I didn't know what the word meant, and it wasn't in my Encyclopedia Britannica. So it was a rough time, pre-internet.
Doesn't it come from the core, the core word or whatever? It's body?
I don't know.
I feel like it is.
It's 20, but I get.
I mean, it does sound close enough to cadaver that could be true. That is a 0. Are you okay with a 0 success?
How much fate can I spend on getting another degree of success?
I think 1, but
yeah, I can only push myself to +1.
Yeah. Because that's why when we're at -2, we can't spend 2 to get to +0, for example.
Yeah, you're at a 0. I think you can get to +1.
Yeah, well,
just a fate point, but I think that's the limit.
I mean, with a -20, I'll take myself to a +1 and take succeeding with some advantage here.
It takes.
And you added the 1 SL for my attempt assistance, yeah.
That's he had to, because otherwise it'd have been a fail.
Yeah.
It takes Sister Holly and the Emperor looking over your shoulder, literally guiding your fate, the fate of the entire universe. But you do manage to procure several individuals who you think are trustworthy enough that you can leave them with the rest of the group, and possibly these 1,000 people won't get married to hookers on a Saturday morning.
But yeah, I think a lot of it is we're focusing on trying to identify the strong candidates that I want to make leaders, and I want to take that core group and do dedicated skills training with them, while the majority of the group are doing disciplined physical activity to get them regimented and keep them busy, and then disseminating those skills through the leaders that I'm installing.
We will come back to another scene where the mechanic has come to investigate your kin hard bottle issued rifles. But I do want to follow Sister Holly to the principal's office. Holly,
is this the scene you wanted to do?
It's
the specific one.
It's multiple kilometers of walking through the ship. You enter the part of the ship where
golf carts.
Yeah, sure. You're high enough rank you can procure a golf cart. You're in the part of the ship where wax has covered all of the floors, just from burned candles. Every corridor is lit by candlelight rather than by ship's lighting. It's clear that the sisters inhabit this section of the ship for sure. And you hear that another debate is starting soon, that enormous donation to fund not just another debate, but a series of debates between the Sister Without a Mister and the Engine Seer Without Peer are being sponsored by an anonymous donor. So, you know, like, morale is up as people are like, oh, the sister's gonna get him this time, sisters. They're like, that's right, sister. You make your way to the Canonist Preceptor's office, and you come across a woman standing over, like, a holographic table, like Demon Gate, Chaos Gate style. It is regular human sized. She is wearing a Jane Fonda style workout leotard with the like purple body undersuit as well, but it has like Sister Fleur-de-Lis iconography to it. She's also got on a headband and has two tiny weights in her hands. She looks like she's like
sweatbands on the
sweatbands.
Wrist,
Yeah. You understand where I'm going with this. There's a lot of brightly colored rainbow theme stuff going on with her as well. And she looks like she's like 60 trying to be 40. She is standing in place, jog exercising while looking over like past battles and consulting with various whatever the sister versions of NCOs are, like Sister Superior. When you come in, she says, "Everyone, give me the room."
I assume she doesn't mean me.
She doesn't mean you. Yeah, she's looking at you and gestures for you to stand next to her.
Yep. Canoness.
When you are on board this ship, Sister Holly, you are under my command. You are my responsibility. I have direct orders from the Lord Commander of the Imperium that on Sanguinalia, one good act of mercy should be performed. It is my understanding that you chafe in the position that you're currently in.
I'm not sure to which position you refer. Do you mean my role for the Orders Famulus, for the Order of Hallowed Glass, or do you mean my role with the Rogue Trader?
My understanding of your activities with the Rogue Trader are that you have repeatedly undermined the authority of every organization you speak to and subverted them towards a greater understanding of the will of the Emperor.
I'm not sure what would lead you to that conclusion, Canoness. I have worked to improve relations between various Imperial factions and the Rogue Trader House of Darkwind. I have attempted to make myself the most useful servant to the Imperium I can.
You take independent action, and that makes me nervous. It makes a lot of Imperial servants nervous. With that said, however, you do seem to have found a niche for yourself. Would you not agree?
I've carved out a niche. Whether I currently enjoy it is, or will continue to enjoy it, is still an open matter at the moment.
I would have my act of mercy on Sanguinalia be the transfer of you out of my hair and into the care of the Rogue Trader.
If you wish to commit such acts of mercy, that is entirely upon you. I would imagine that the Rogue Trader has a say in this as well.
I imagine he does. You will impress upon him your value and what a blessing it is that my order, one which venerates our great sister Dawn, the living saint Dawn Latenya, that this is a great sacrifice on our part, that you are a valued asset to the sororitas, and that our passing of you to him is a great favor.
What of the matter of the union between the Darkwind and the Cow's trading houses?
I'm not fully privy to the events that happened before we left the Space Hulk, but I suspect that you know more about that than I do.
What
This union, if you see it to be part of your former order's benefit, should continue. But you work for the Rogue Trader now.
Very well.
It's a sanguinalia miracle. Be glad of this mercy, Sister Holly. Someone of your unique latitude should be afforded the same that we give to rogue traders. And I would not have you serving among my sisterhood. Your independence is a problem.
Very well.
Tidings of comfort and joy, Sister Holly. Enjoy your 25 standard hours of rest.
I'm sure we'll meet again in some capacity in the future.
When you say that, she starts in place, just jazzercising as she's looking over the battle records. It says, "You're dismissed." It's a sanguinalia miracle! Merry Christmas, James! You're part of the Rogue Trader crew with everyone else now!
I resist the urge to say I don't work for her when she tells me I'm dismissed, but...
Yes, smart-mouthing Canonist is always considered a good plan.
Especially after
I've
getting
seen
what
these
you really wanted.
Warhammer 40K lore slop channels where they're like, in the book XYZ, an Imperial Guardsman talks shit to a Space Marine, and the Space Marine punches him down into a tiny ball and throws him in a garbage can while still alive.
I'm going to need a name for this Candace because she's made her way into my enemies list.
Yeah, I'm just like you've been doing things of your own and subverting, and I'm like, if they were better Imperial citizens and organizations, we wouldn't have been doing all of this.
Oh, that's not true. They are doing what Sister Holly wants. That's all that really matters.
Canonist Preceptor Pyria of the Order of the Living Saint Dawn Latenya. I want to give people a chance to just kind of freeform stuff and just let you know that episode 4 is kind of like the do all the endeavors and wrap up and anything that you want to do before you come out of the warp bubble and arrive. Like right now is just a time for if you have anything you immediately want to do in the aftermath of the mission.
I do. Or Velamris does. He would like an opportunity to meet with the Father Couché. I don't know. I have couch with an E spelled in my notes, but he wants to, I guess, come back around to meet with him. Maybe not during Sanguinalia, just because of the whole 25 hours of rest. Doesn't want to intrude on him. Okay. But at the earliest opportunity, otherwise, just to kind of, close the loop. / mechanically speaking, how many corruption points can I get rid of now?
Sure. So you go look for him. In the process, you remove 1 corruption point. You begin asking sisters how to meet with him. They have no idea who the fuck you're talking about. They're just like, there no such father exists. There's no such ecclesiastical personnel on board this vessel with that name.
Amazing, because now I have the exact same amount of corruption when I first showed up.
I know. So just to explain to you what happened, they told you when you went into the room that the only thing that would be in there is what you brought with you. That was quite literal. You brought chaos corruption with you, and the two people inside were representing Slaanesh and Tzeentch, and the Tzeentch guy was like, you should sacrifice and murder all of those people. And when he got you to admit that you wanted to banish the anathema is the chaos name for the Emperor.
Okay.
So you were profaning the Emperor.
Okay.
While traveling through the warp.
By going and killing only the ones that needed to be killed and not murdering everyone, which would have put me deeper into the hole.
And conveniently, you didn't murder a bunch of people on top of a symbol of Tzeentch, which is what he wanted.
Yeah.
AP's forming to secrecy.
Oh, did he?
He's like, don't warn Omar. Don't warn Omar.
Don't warn Omar, yes. I did specifically say you should not.
Amazing.
I thought Kane might figure it out as well, but...
Since I did clear 1 point of corruption, that is my long-term goal.
I wasn't entirely sure, and I didn't get all of it, but I definitely was suspicious that he was talking to things that weren't really there.
And then when
the symbol got pointed out on the
James, I would point out,
yeah, I was too zoomed in to even see those tiles. So when he pointed out and I zoomed out and looked, I was like, oh, when he said kill everyone, this is totally a chaos sacrifice.
When he said the Dagobah thing, you only bring, the only thing in there is what you bring with you. I knew something was there, something was weird, off, whatever. But as a player, I certainly couldn't figure it out.
You specifically mentioned Dagobah several times after I said that.
Yeah. Velamris, I think I played it more or less the way he would have in that scenario. Okay. But me as a player, I had no idea. I knew something. I just didn't know what. So I just kind of had to play it through to see what would happen.
Now, you do spend some time in remedial prayers with sisters while you're going around. You're like, I was hoping
definitely.
You're like, I was hoping to cleanse my corruption. And a sister nearby, tightens her leather gloves and, pulls out her riding crop. And it's just like, do not worry, brother. We will cleanse you of your corruption. Just, again, leather noise. Her hand tightens around.
Creaking leather.
Yeah. No, listen, I mean, if Velamris has to take an ass whooping in the flagellation form, then...
Oh, no, they don't do flagellation around here, my friend. I don't know if you remember... but James had them set people on fire regularly.
I do remember. Yeah,
walk through the fire and see if you survive.
Listen, that idea actually popped in my head at one point, but I was like, "Ooh, I don't know if I really don't know if Velamris might be up for that. I don't know if I wanted to kill Velamris because he doesn't make a roll."
I mean, your eyebrows are burnt off the next time we see you, and you have no facial hair. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, well, he shaves regularly anyway, but yeah,
he's not going to need to for a couple weeks.
Yeah, he's actually like, this actually helps me out. I save a few salaries on shaving cream.
If my face didn't hurt so much, this would be really convenient.
Yeah, you seek out spiritual comfort and you receive it in the form of physical pain.
Yeah. Velamris would be, I don't know, not necessarily all about that, but that's coming here, Sister
the Living
Saint Dawn.
She said he's all about it.
Well, I mean, he's always had this this, I don't know what the right word is, adoration for the Living Saint. Coming to her ship and then knowing that something has happened to him and he needs to get it cleansed, all of this makes perfect sense that at some point, he is probably contemplating walking through the fire in the full, when they pour all the oil. Yeah. But he's not sure if necessarily going that far is the right answer. So, losing facial hair and eyebrows and a fuck ton of pain is absolutely fine by him.
Is that not worth your soul?
But he feels like, I think there's a part of him where he's going back and forth on it, but it's like the fact I'm going back and forth on it is making him question the necessity of going all in, because he's aware of the taint, and because he's aware of it, he doesn't need the full purge.
That sounds an awful lot like your corruption talking.
It could be. It could be. Are you trying to roast Velamris? Because I feel like that's what you're trying to do here.
Can they give Velamris a hair shirt? They're pretty common in the Imperium for people seeking penance.
I don't know what that is first.
Neither do I.
It's like a shirt you wear under your clothing that has coarse hair on the inside, so it's constantly irritating your skin.
Oh yeah,
so it's penance. Like it doesn't hurt or harm you. It just constantly sort of reminds you of your need to maintain your faith.
I feel like a sister would be like, wear this for 3 days and then come see me. And Velamris would be like, okay.
Do 10 Hail Corvaxes and see me in 3 days.
I don't suppose I can clear any more than... Because I'm at 2 corruption now. Oh. All right. You can't blame me.
2 corruption isn't that bad. Considering that you were the center point of an attempt to turn... But what would have happened is you would have turned everyone into a jelly person. Yeah. You would have had all of them turn into weird jellies and overrun the ship with murder jellies.
Murder jellies.
Omar.
Okay. Yeah.
2 corruption's bad. You should feel bad.
Thanks, James.
James and Kain are like, walk through the fire. Do it.
Tidings of comfort and joy, everybody. Comfort and joy.
The comfort of cleansing your soul in the place that you would probably want to do it more than anywhere else.
I've listened to the Pentatonic cover like 40 times this week.
Absolutely. You know, the thing is like, I think that's really the only thing stopping me from having Velamris be like, fuck it, I'll walk through the fire, is the fact that if I fuck a roll, I lose the character. And I don't want to leave it up to something quite so arbitrary.
You fuck a roll, you
as a person,
you burn a fate point. The fate point gets burned away by the fire.
Actually, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, as a person who rides their characters really hard, even if something horrible happens, it will be satisfying.
You know what? You're right. No, Kay, you know what? You're right. I am talking to the wrong person about it because I just got done watching your second Solaris character die not that long ago.
James is right, though. James is right, though. You can burn a fate point if you die on the roll to just have the Hand of the Emperor intercede.
Yeah, I think... I think we don't necessarily have to do it tonight, but like by the time we come out of this trip, Velamris is going to walk through the fire to clear all that corruption shit out.
I think that as you're walking through the fire, you see an image of an enormous man in shining armor on like a pyre looking at you. And he has the face of your father looking at you. Blood is just pouring out of his eyes, like down his face. Fire is all around him. Doesn't seem like whether or not he's affected by the fire. And as you're walking forward, the literal flames that surround you also appear to be spiritual flames as well. Something is burning through you at this moment. And the figure looks toward you and says, I see you there. Beyond the fires.
Father. And I think he's going to focus on the father, which he's beginning to recognize may not really be his actual father, but rather the God Emperor. And he's going to keep moving forward towards that voice and towards that figure.
Okay, make a discipline check.
Oh, God. Let's see.
Can
I roll discipline fear?
Could Sister Holly be watching him do this and be there as a bolstering force?
Only Velamris can walk through the fire.
This is true. Can I use fear? I have specialization for discipline fear.
I will say yes.
Okay. And I still have all of my fate points, so I am going to go with advantage.
Okay.
Yeah, for being in the third half of an episode, I have a strangely not zero amount of fate points right now.
Third half is such an APGamingREAL term as well. Wow, -0. You need another fate point to cross this Rubicon.
Well, yeah, take it.
Okay. You offer up a sacrifice of the Emperor's will. You can feel it flowing out of you, goodwill and tidings. And the figure that is on this pyre looks at you and says, "Come closer, child. Come closer, child of man."
Yep. Velamris is... I have no idea what he would be feeling, both, physically and spiritually or what have you, but he's probably struggling, grit teeth and all that, the sweat pouring and then evaporating.
The fire is not affecting you at this point.
Okay.
But you're not sweating water. You're sweating blood.
Okay. Yeah, he's...
You approach this figure, and you're like, how did I ever mistake this man for my father? He has golden hair, and blood is pouring out of every one of his orifices. He's huge. He's like 12 and a half, 13 feet tall. He's the most beautiful person I've ever seen.
Yeah, Velamris is just going to keep pushing forward.
As you move before this figure, you go to your knees because it's just natural to do in front of this figure, who is now, I don't want to say they're like on a cross, but they basically are like leaned back onto a fire and don't seem to be capable of like bringing themselves up. But the head tilts down towards you and says, "It is time, child. Just as I once cleansed Holy Terra, you too must be cleansed yourself.
I am ready."
It is a sanguinalia miracle. Let the pain flow through you, child of man." And as this person begins coughing blood on you, when the blood hits you, you feel intense, searing pain, and you now have like a blood spatter scar mark on your face that's now permanent. Like, it's not, no one can heal this from you, and you are healed of your corruption in the process.
And that takes away my unremarkable talent or trait or whatever the hell it is.
I'd allow that as well if you want to. Yeah.
I mean, it would make sense if that's gone because of that.
Okay.
It'd be a pretty distinguishing facial scar.
Yeah.
You come to, it feels like it's been but a moment as you stumble through flame and smoke. Your clothes are gone. You're just completely naked. Your hair, all your hair on your body's been burned off. But everyone's like, he's done it. He's made it through the fires. And like someone who's just like, his face, help him, his face. And like people are trying to like heal this wound on your face. Like a hospitaller is there. And she's like, I can do naught to it. It is a holy mark that has been placed upon him. He is blessed. He has the mark. And people are just
I think at some point, Velamris is also, maybe he's like too weak to actually effectively do anything, but I think he's maybe trying to like, no, leave it. Like, I think either he knows or he doesn't want to give up the closest connection he's ever had, like closest physical connection to the God Emperor. But he's probably too weak and like he can't actually get his arms up.
Yeah, I think that as you're trying to get your hands up, you don't think that this person was the God Emperor. You think that this must have been some powerful figure in the mythology of the Imperium, but this probably wasn't the God Emperor. Because you've had the God Emperor's power flow through you, whether you know it or not, every time you use a fate point. And that was not what this was. This was a sanguinalia miracle.
It was Sanguinius himself.
It was God, not
God's dad.
It was the Christian God, Jesus Christ, who also exists in the Warhammer 40K universe. Yes, James.
My unremarkable talent or whatever is not on my character sheet anymore, as neither is my patron for some reason.
Well, I didn't cause either of those things to happen, but congratulations. You now have a distinctive mark of the blood of Sanguinius has affected your face in a Dexter-like blood spatter pattern. You have scars.
And 500 XP for my long-term goal.
You've finally done it. You've cleansed yourself of the dark powers. At great cost. At the cost of a talent you could never retake.
Yeah.
Anyone else got anything you need to do to wrap up on this episode? just as a reminder, we have a whole extra episode to do things down the line. If you've got plots you need to enact, or we'll have 2 Endeavor rolls as well.
No, I think that for Holly now, having developed a new enemy on this trip, she'll probably spend the time while she's in the immediate presence of this Order of Sisters to sort of do a bit of research on the Canoness and the power structures that she is reporting to.
So you know how the Black Templars are always at Crusade?
Yeah.
That's how the Living Saint Don Latenya has structured her martyrdomhood, right? Like the Light of Dawn is part of the Rogue Traders fleet, but only because the Rogue Traders spend so much time beyond the edge of the galaxy at war. They serve him, if only because there's plenty of targets out there to hit, and his are as good as any others. Yeah. And so they are constantly going to war. And the ship is a cathedral in and of itself, but they don't stay on the ship. They are almost constantly being deployed down onto the surfaces of planets. I think probably the biggest piece of information you get is that they're light in their complement and armaments right now. So the Light of Dawn is a troop carrier that was empty when it came back. Almost all of the troops that went to Jovi 5 died there. Not just the Rogue Traders troops that this was carrying, but also the complement of sisters is down to 2,000 sisters total. Not even that's the whole organization. The Battle Sister contingent is very light for a full Canonist Preceptor to be running. So there's only so many times you can recruit among your own scribes and missionaries before you just run out of people who are willing to join, and then you get this very uncomfortable discussion about whether you want to draft unwilling people to go into battle, or whether you need to just wait until you get to the next star system and tithe yourself a new sisterhood.
I assume that Pyria has a command staff under her, she has at least a palatine, whatever.
Of course. I mean, multiple palatines, right? Because those are the captains and lieutenants.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, lieutenant's probably the best word for it.
Probably a dozen sister superior sergeants and stuff like that. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So, and she you said that she looked like she was old but trying to stay young. Yeah.
She looks like she's 60, but trying to stay in shape. I don't know about stay young. Okay. She's not going to her son and having all of his blood removed and put in her blood. But for someone who is of advanced military age, she still fights in the field, right? She still straps on the power armor and stabs people to death with a sword and a flamethrower.
For now.
Yeah. Probably not for much longer, but for now.
Yeah, the plan is forming. Thank you.
Right. James is we'll retire her one way or the other. This woman's the thing that you want, I give to you. And James is thanks. Now I'm going to fuck you over because I don't like the way you said it.
Exactly. 100%. It's not
she
James,
goes,
by the way.
I'm worried because of your independent streak. And you go, I'll show you a fucking independent streak.
That's right.
I'm worried. You keep subverting all structures of power that you're put into, and you're I'll subvert your structure of power.
I never said she was wrong. Sometimes the truth hurts, and it hurt this time. And so Holly wants to hurt her back.
All right. At the end of the episode here, I just want to give a quick shout out to Tylistriel Iuchu, the shrewd hunter of the Forgotten Empire, who walked the path of charity. We're never going to learn his story. He got shot in the head and died immediately without ever saying a single word.
That's another what was his name?
A miracle.
What was his name?
Tylistriel Iuchu.
Yep.
I still remember the name of the Eldar that Arthur executed.
Well, I don't, because I told him not to turn around, and he turned around. So I said, "Don't move,
don't move." Yeah, don't move. And he moves.
There was even a cutscene at the start of the game that was didn't involve the players. That had that Eldar being given the mission to go talk to you.
I understand, Japes, but in character, I didn't see that cutscene. What I said was, don't move. And he said, I'm going to turn around.
I mean, it's not much different.
I
Velamris saw
can't
an Eldari and he
control
said,
the
I'm going to shoot
actions
him.
of Eldari pirates, okay? That's all I'm saying.
I'm glad you enjoyed my comment there, Kate.
I did.
Who's Alfarius?
The 20th
boy.
Primarch. Alfarius
that...
and Omegon are the two 20 and 21st Primarchs. They are... We talked about this last time.
Yeah, I was going to say, did we talk about...
Yeah, because Alfarius and Omegon are regular Space Marine-sized Primarchs. And, you know, the gene seed makes your Legion look like you, but Alfarius and Omegon's gene seed is really powerful. And, so they Spartacus themselves. Yeah. So all like of the Space Marines basically look like Alfarius and Omegon, and then they have a... I don't know if they still have it in the current edition, but they used to have a codex thing where on the battlefield you could just be like, "No, I'm Alfarius."
Yeah,
and
the moment your warlord dies, the moment your warlord goes, "No, that was my warlord. This guy here is actually my warlord. You don't get killed. You don't get so the warlord. Haha."
You only thought you killed the right one.
I am Spartacus. No, I am Spartacus.
I'm Brian, and so is my wife.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of discussion as to whether Alfarius and Omegon are actually secretly loyalists or not. And the canonicity has been debated throughout the years because they're involved in a secret alien cadre of time travelers who are like, you must let Horus win to gain ultimate victory. It's, you know, it's weird.
A group calling themselves the Cabal told Alfarius that if Horus won the heresy, that it would lead to chaos destroying itself within 10,000 years. Mankind would be wiped out, but chaos would be removed from the galaxy forever. But that if the Emperor won the Horus heresy, that it would cement chaos's place, and chaos would slowly destroy the universe over dozens of or over tens of thousands of years. And so they were hoping that Alfarius would help Horus win.
So Alfarius went, all right, weird alien time travelers, bet. I believe you. Sight unseen, no question of my faith. I'm going to kill my own brothers because you said so.
But at the end of the book, Hydra, he definitely says everything we do from this point forward, we do for the Emperor.
It's the secret. Are the Alpha Legion traitors or not? In the same way they have two unknown legions, so you can always be like, well, my chapter is from one of those two legions.
Yeah.
The Alpha Legion hype of, well, they fight other legions of chaos because they're secretly loyalists. Or are they?
Velamris about to take that knight stuff to a little too much to heart.
Yeah. And there's always a question. Good.
No, I was gonna say, well, now because so they started calling him a knight for some reason in Fadric City or outside or whatever.
Yeah.
And now he's walked through the fire and the flame. He's always revered the living saint, and so now he may just become some sort of knight in their, not necessarily in their service, because he's still.
I want to become a martyr.
He's still owned by the rogue trader, but.
Do you want my religious garb? I don't need any more.
What's that?
I said, do you want my religious garb? I don't need it.
I don't think it'll fit.
Not with that attitude.
But then on top of it, we're going to this feudal world, which I realize it's a feudal world, but it's also in the 42nd millennium. So
but it's a Mechanicus feudal world.
Right. So there's giant robots, but there's plenty of knights and chivalry and all of that. So yeah, Velamris is about to go down hard on this whole becoming a knight thing.
Oh, I see. Velamris has moved from the channel Hymn of the Imperium. He's gone to 2 Steps from Hell now.
Unfortunately, I don't know that pop culture reference either.
Wow.
Wow. Okay. Go YouTube 2 Steps from Hell.
See, here's the thing. You've absolutely heard their music before. You just don't know that you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
They make epic trailer music. You've absolutely heard them before. Probably you've heard like Victory and other shit like that. But
I paid to use one of their songs for my 100th episode of my podcast.
How much was that license?
I think it was about 130 US for one episode of a podcast.
That's not the worst price I've ever heard. But
Yeah, and annoyingly, like about 6 months beforehand, Two Steps from Hell would give free right to their music to anybody that asked, basically, for that sort of stuff. But they basically said we had to stop because we just got asked so many times. So
I remember, yeah, when they used to let people use it for free. It was quite some time ago, though.
So was my 100th episode.
I still remember James going, "We'll get you on one of the episodes of the podcast," and then like 2 years later, he goes, "Actually, I'm disbanding the podcast." And I was like, "No, the next episode, no!"
No, we're like the back 10 parts. We're always podcasting.
Well, I even made a Black Templars reference this time around. Perfect. We're always podcasting. That's the whitest shit I've ever heard. Bro, we should make a podcast together.
Oh, that conversation's come up on a couple Discords I'm on, and every time I'm like,
listen,
this
here's
is
the
just
thing.
part of
I
the
don't do
natural
a
life
lot-
cycle.
I don't do a lot of racial humor, but that truly is the whitest shit I've ever heard. Is when someone's like, "Dude, we should do a podcast together." I'm like, "Yep, yeah, okay, whatever, dude." Absolutely. There's nothing more white American than we should make a podcast. Well, maybe apple pie and baseball. Liberty Prime. All right. Any closing thoughts on this, the third episode of the Darkholds?
Rassie gets to begin his sleep 4 hours a cycle arc as he tries desperately to do as much training as he can.
Okay. I think a bunch of people are about to get a ton of XP from character goals. Am I wrong about this?
I'm getting 500 for clearing my corruption at least one point. I didn't get my short term, but whatever.
So
I got my short term.
So you get 50 for that.
I got both mine.
Okay. So now, again, just in case you want to, you can also choose to retire your characters when you achieve a long-term goal.
I've just got him paid a bunch for extra artwork for Sister Holly, so...
I appreciate that.
Darius I haven't done this week.
I'm tempted to ask, but I don't have the money, so I probably won't. But it would be interesting. It wouldn't change his art too much
To
add the blood splatter scarring on his face.
The burns.
Certainly the chibi art's really. I'm not going to mention his price on stream, but I'll tell you outside the stream.
I mean, I would like to see a Velamris with no hair and the burn marks on him. Yeah, for sure.
With the hood down, since he can't use the unremarkable anymore.
How much XP did we get for the session?
That's a good question. I think that this was a pretty momentous set. I know that not a lot happened. We didn't make a ton of rolls, but it is the capstone to your visit here. So I don't know. I'd say another 50. Like a big...
it took us 170 hours to complete. So
Do we get a back brief from Borghese? At some point?
What do you get? What from Borghese?
Like a back brief for him telling us how
next
well
episode.
and how poorly?
Yeah, is him going to be going over your performance, and then we'll do endeavors and such.
Where are the XP awards for completing goals again?
It's 500 for
85?
long term and 50 for short term.
Page 85
I guess.
in the book.
Well, we'll see how well the training goes for the Darkwind drop troopers. If it goes well, I might have an argument for my long-term goal.
Okay.
If not, then that'll probably continue to be a longer-term goal.
And everybody gets 1,000 solars as you get paid. You're getting 5 times your good payment grade.
I have too much money.
A problem.
I think as soon as
I wish I could say that in real life.
I need to start rolling on expensive mistakes.
Wow, what a crossover right there.
I mean, as soon as we get Planetfall, I'm doing a bunch of shopping because we can't shop on the ship. So
you can shop on the ship. It's just considered a shrine world.
Okay, long-term goal: buy a Titan on.
You absolutely do not have enough money to buy a Titan. You don't have enough money to buy a single round of Titan ammunition.
What about one of the little ones?
A little Titan?
Armager?
No. Again, you don't have enough money to buy a single round of Titan ammunition.
What if we pooled our money, Arthur?
No. Under no circumstances.
Maybe did some favors?
I'll tell you what. I don't know if I want to make this joke. I'll make the joke off camera. I'll make the joke off. We're ending now, so I can make the joke while it's fresh. We'll see you next week or something, guys. We'll see you when we see you.